Alright, so today we discuss about this paper 1-1 for October November 2019. Okay, let's begin. Because right now for IGCSE you don't have set already, so I will skip the first questions. Start with the question 2. Okay, so normally when I read the question like this and I see the words do not intersect, the do not intersect itself means what? Do not intersect means b squared minus 4ac less than 0. This is a thing you need to memorize yourself. If you can't remember, you can't memorize this one, you cannot do question like this. So if you know you want to do b squared minus 4ac, so definitely the first thing you need to do is you need to have a general equation first. That means is ax squared plus bx plus c equals to 0. It's not equals to y, it's equals to 0, but then you have both y, isn't it? So how am I going to get equal to 0 without y? So the easiest way is sub the first y into the second y. Do simultaneous equation and then you sub into each other and then you solve it. So I solve y into y, I get kx minus 3 equals to 2x squared plus 3x plus k. Alright, you can see when I sub the y into the y here, my whole equation right now do not have y. I just need to rearrange them, make them into this pattern, then I can start to take out my a, b, and c. Alright, so this is 2x squared and then plus 3x minus kx plus k plus 3. I move everything to my right hand side, so equals to 0. So this is 2x squared and then I factorize out my x, so it's 3 minus kx. I'm going to write like this, alright, plus k plus 3 equals to 0. So from here you should know your a equals to 2, your b is equals to 3 minus k, and your c will be the last one without x, isn't it? K plus 3. After I have a, b, and c already, then I will sub into my equation b squared minus 4ac less than 0. Alright, so my b squared will be 3 minus k squared minus 4a will be 2 and c will be k plus 3 less than 0. Then I just solve this quadratic equation. So this is 9 minus 6k plus k squared. And then this is negative 8 multiply the first one, negative 8k. Negative 8 multiply 3, so I multiply for both. So it will be negative 24 less than 0. So I have k squared minus 14k. Because negative 6k and negative 8k is negative 14k. And then here will be minus 15 less than 0. And then I will factorize this one. So when I factorize this one, I will get k minus 15, k plus 1. So my k value must be between negative 1 and 15. Because if you solve this one equals to 0, you will get k equals to 15 and k equals to negative 1, isn't it? This is how I get negative 1 and 15. And if you learn about the quadratic inequality, you know when less than 0, when the quadratic equation here less than 0, you must get something in between a and b. If the quadratic is bigger than 0, you will get something like x is less than a and x is bigger than b. Alright, this is the quadratic inequality thing, so you need to remember how you need to do it. You need to memorize it. So can understand, right? Number 2 is quite easy. It's a quadratic function, so I guess you guys can do. So for question number 3 is indices. So you have two equations and then they ask you to find x and y. So you see the pattern here, you should know for the first equation you have x and y over there. The second equation you also have x and y over there. So you need to form two equations and then you will do the simultaneous again. So so we start from the first one. 7 and 49 is all power of 7 and 1 is a magical number because any number power of 0 you'll get 1. So so I can change everything in base 7. So this one will be 7 square. So it'll be 7 2y. Because 7 square 2 multiply y is just 2y, alright? So, and 1 will be 7 power of 0. And by the way, this is not plus, this is multiply. Because plus will be quite hard to solve. Alright, so, and then we know multiply basically means the power we need to plus it, isn't it? So yeah, we can easily get our first equation. So it be x plus 2y equals to 0, x equals to negative 2y. I'm going to call this one my first equation. Then we'll do the same thing for my second equation here. So yeah, this is 5 power of 5x. 125 is 5 power of 3. And then multiply with 2y over 3. Alright, and 1 over 25 is 5 power of negative 2. Yeah, if you do not know how to convert, you can just change one by one. Right, so then 3 and 3 I simplify. Multiply means plus, right? So 5 power of x plus 2y equals to 5 power of negative 2. Then I have another equation, which is 5x plus 2y equals to negative 2. When you have the same base, you can just cancel out, take the power equal to each other. So yeah, so I know my x equals to negative 2y, right? So I'm going to sub my first equation into my second equation. So which is 5 power of negative 2y plus 2y equals to negative 2. So this is negative 10y plus 2y is negative 8y equals to negative 2. Y equals to negative 2 over negative 8, which is 1 over 4. Then my x is negative 2 and 1 over 4. So x will be negative 1 over 2. Yep. And for this kind of question, this kind of simultaneous question, you can always try to, you can always substitute your answer back into your equation to check whether your answer is correct or not. So I will try to sub into my first equation here, see what happened. So I have a 7 power of negative 1 over 2. 7 power of negative 1 over 2 multiply 49 power of 1 over 4. See, is it equals to 1? So if it's not equals to 1, that means something wrong for my equation. So yeah, I will always check like this, because must equals to 1 according to the equation. So yeah, just type everything in the calculator. Negative 1 over 2. And then multiply 49 power 1 over 4. Yeah, so calculator tell me it's equals to 1. That means I'm very sure my answer is correct. Okay. So, any questions? If no question, I will move on. This one shouldn't be too difficult because it's just indices. Alright, another differentiation. You see the ln with x on the top, and then you see the 2x minus 3 at the bottom, and there's no way you simplify them. So yeah, so for the question like this, no doubt it's a quotient rule. So you kind of need to remember the quotient rule for dy dx. So it will be v differentiate u minus u differentiate v over v squared. By the way, the top will be u, the bottom will be v. Okay, so yeah, so if you understand, you can straight away do. If you're not so sure, we can actually do step by step also lah. This is 4x squared plus 1. This is my u. My v will be 2x minus 3. So differentiate v, you just something to do the dv dx, which is 2. And then I differentiate u, you kind of need to differentiate this one, is 1 over 4x squared plus 1. And then we need to differentiate again for 4x squared plus 1 and write on the top. So which is multiply another, maybe I don't write straight away lah. I write at the side there just in case some students get confused. This is ax. Isn't it? If I differentiate 4x squared plus 1, I'm actually getting ax. So yeah, so I will just regroup them, become ax over 4x squared plus 1. This is my du dx. Okay, this one actually, you can write du dx or u prime, it's the same thing. Alright, then I want to find dy dx, I will just kind of group them together. And the good news about IGCSE is actually you don't need to simplify so much about the equation. You can leave the unsimplified form in this pattern, but you still need to simplify a little bit lah. So yeah, where's my v? My v is 2x minus 3. And then multiply this one. So I will multiply ax over 4x squared plus 1. And then minus u, my u will be ln 4x squared plus 1 multiply 2. So yeah, I multiply 2 over v squared. V will be 2x minus 3 square. I'm not recommend you leave your answer in this form. So normally I will want to do one more step to actually simplify it. But I think you can leave in this form is not mistaken, because only 3 marks. If you simplify, it's going to take you some time. Just let me double confirm whether you can leave in this form or not. Yes. In the exam, you can leave your answer in this form, because it's just 3 marks. So because I remember I checked the marking scheme, the marking scheme actually doesn't simplify. So if the marking scheme want you to simplify, how are you going to know is they will say leave your answer in something like, okay, a something over something. Yeah, they ask you leave your answer in dy dx equals to something like this. Then you must simplify until that pattern, or else you don't need to simplify. You can leave your answer like this, because it's only 3 marks. Okay, and you might ask, if you want to simplify, how you can simplify. Okay, this is some extra steps. So yeah, so I just teach you something just in case that sometime you might need to simplify. So the first thing is we need to make both of them have the same denominator on the top here. So this is over 1, isn't it? So in order to make them same denominator, the top here I need to multiply I need to multiply 4x squared plus 1 for top and bottom. That means the top here I need to multiply also 4x squared plus 1. Alright, now you have something on the higher level, in the top level, that is like this, a numerator and denominator, right? Numerator, I don't care what is it, I just call it a here. And then the denominator is 4x squared plus 1 already. And then the whole thing divided by 2x minus 3 squared, isn't it? So we know a over b divided by c will give us a over bc. This is just a normal fraction thing. So yeah, so therefore, if this thing like this, so I kind of already know my denominator will be this one multiply this one. So I will straight away do 4x squared plus 1 and then multiply with 2x minus 3 squared. Then only I simplify the top one, my numerator. So depend you want to multiply it in or not. But normally I will not expand the bracket for this one unless I think that after the minus here I have something similar like x squared, then I can solve it, then maybe I will expand them, or else I will just leave like this, 2x minus 3 ax minus this one is 2 multiply here, isn't it? So I'm going to call it ax squared plus 2 multiply with ln 4x squared plus 1. Yeah, I will leave my answer like this. Let me see, is it possible I get 4x squared plus 1 here? Because if here can give me a 4x squared plus 1, then maybe I can factorize this out and simplify at the bottom. Yeah, or here can give me 2x minus 3, but then here I can't get 2x minus 3, right? So there's no way I simplify 2x minus 3 or 4x squared plus 1 from my numerator. So yeah, I guess this one will be my final answer if I want to simplify. So yeah, normally you will ask to simplify when you see your equation have the third one. Yeah, they love to ask you to simplify the square root term. But then over here, actually you can leave your final answer like this. It should be fine for 3 marks. Alright, the part 2. Find the approximate change in y as x is increased from 2 to 2 plus 3. You see the word increase, you know this is small change, and then the question is kind enough to tell you h is small. So for small change, so what you need to do here is you will need to memorize the small change formula, right? Where we change of y over change of x equals to dy dx. Alright, so we already know x is increased from 2 to 2 plus h. So change of x is basically use the new x minus the old x. 2 plus h minus 2, so it's just h. Okay, so how to find change of x is use the new x value minus the original x value. Alright, so yeah, then the question asked me to find change in y, right? So change in y equals to dy dx multiply change in x. I just throw my change in x on the other side, alright? So nothing special here. Dy dx I have on the top here, and change of x I have is h here. But then of course I'm not going to like insert the whole complicated dy dx on the top there straight away, because I know my original value of x is 2, right? So I will insert the version I substitute 2. So you can straight away substitute if you want. If you want to write step by step also can. So if I sub the 2 into this equation, so first thing is just 2 times 2, which is 4. 4 minus 3 is 1. So 1 times 16, so first one is 16. I'm going to do 16 minus. This one is, wow, okay. 8 times 4 is 32, plus 2 is 34. Okay, yeah, it's kind of weird. I thought it's a quite simple number. Alright, then, this is 4 also, because 2 squared is 4, 17 is ln 17 over. Okay, so 2, this is 17, multiply. This is 4. This is 4 minus 3 is 1. 1 squared is still 1. So yeah, it's nice. Then the whole thing going to multiply with h. Yeah, so I hope the number is not too big. Not too big because this is small change, isn't it? 16 minus 34 ln 17 divided by 17. Alright, so it's negative 4.73. Alright, so there's a h there, 4.73 h. Alright, this is how you do the question like this. Yeah, so remember, for small change, always substitute the original value of x into your dy dx. Into the dy dx. Don't choose the new value of x to sub in, okay? Must be very careful over here. Okay, number 5 will be the function. So write down the range of f and g. Now this is kind of, you need to know about the exponent, and then you can know about the range here. Okay, for exponent, actually it's quite easy. When you see the standard one, if I have 3e2x, what is my range? 3e2x, the graph is definitely like this. So the range is any value, the fx must be always bigger than 0. Okay, because it cannot equal 0, right? Imagine if equals to 0, you will get e2x equals to 0, then 2x equals to ln 0, you will get undefined, isn't it? So it cannot be equal to 0. This one explains why the graph will never touch the 0. So therefore for e graph, if you want to find range, is quite easy. If you see plus 1, so first one is f must be bigger than 1. Okay, because it cannot equals to 1, because once the fx is 1, then you will get ex equals to 0, then you will get undefined. So you can kind of copy the constant value at the back there. Yeah, but if you can understand the graph, is even better. So yeah, so for fx is just bigger than 1. You kind of need to think how to make this equation become math error. Yeah, and you might think, what if my fx is 0? Then if fx is 0, it's even worse. So because 0 is less than 1, isn't it? So imagine if fx equals to 0, what happened is, if I move my 1 and 3 to the other side, I get negative 1 over 3 equals to e2x. And you solve this one, you'll get 2x equals to ln negative 1 over 3. Can you do ln negative value? You can't, right? You will get undefined also. So therefore, explain fx must bigger than 1. You can try, okay, what if I prefer half? Half is less than 1, is it possible? You put in the half into here, you minus 1, you still get the negative value. If you get a negative value, yeah, you cannot ln negative value, right? So yeah, fx is bigger than 1. Okay, for the straight line like this, okay, because you know x plus 1 is a slope, and then the slope will actually go from, because the x value is a real number, this sign is the element of a real number. That means it can accept any real number. So yeah, it kind of copy back the same thing, but I will explain a little bit. So this is your line, gx equals to x plus 1. Since the x value will from the negative infinity all the way to the positive infinity, then your y value also will from positive infinity go to negative infinity. Alright, but then in IGCSE, how are we going to define from negative infinity to positive infinity? We use the element of real number. So therefore, my g will be the element of the real number. Okay, this is just how IGCSE define the infinity thing, because when you go to A level, right, you will learn about something like, okay, negative infinity to positive infinity. You will learn something like this. Okay, but in IGCSE, they just use is the element of real number to define the infinity. And then, yeah, so what I can tell you for this question is, if you see this is a straight line, yeah, definitely you will from the negative infinity to positive infinity for range and domain. Okay, unless they give you specific range for x, then your domain will have specific value also according to the range. Okay, so yeah, this 2 mark is kind of need to understand the graph lah. It's not easy to get, but it's not hard also if you can get the idea. Okay, if you don't understand, yeah, ask me again or go to watch my video about range and domain. Actually, I make one specific video in my YouTube channel about this range and domain thing. Alright, so anyways, we go to the composite function. This kind of questions depend how you want to do. You can work it out first and then you sub in, or you sub in first then you work it out. Both is fine, but if I do myself, I prefer to do, okay, g square x first. G square x, that means sub the gx into the gx. So gx plus 1. What is my gx? X plus 1. So the whole thing will be x plus 2, isn't it? So for g square x. So my g square 0 is that 0 plus 2, which is 2. So f g square 0 is basically equals to f. What is my g square 0? 2, right? What is f2? This is my fx, right? So it will be 3e22 plus 1. So it's 3e4 plus 1. Yeah. If the question asks me leave in exact form, I will leave like this, or else you can type in the calculator lah. 3 exponent 4 plus 1. And leave in the 3 significant figures, I'm going to say is 165. Okay, and I guess they can accept the answer like 165. Yup, they can. Okay, so far so good, right? If you get confused or what, you just let me know. Okay, so on the exit below, sketch the graph y equals to fx and y equals to f inverse, and state the coordinate of the point where the graph will meet the coordinate axis. Meet the coordinate axis means what? The question actually want x-intercept and y-intercept. So yes, you need to sketch the graph. If you touch the x-axis, you need to sketch it, and same idea to y-axis. So over here, your fx is kind of the complicated equation if you don't understand about ex. So I'm going to do the fx equals to 3e 2x plus y. I'm going to write here. And over here, you do need to work out the f inverse. Even though you work out, it doesn't help you much because what? Even though you work out, right? This is long graph. If you don't understand the long graph, because in IG you doesn't touch much about long graph, but I can tell you ex is like this, long x will be like this. It's just a reflection of it. So yeah, you don't need to work it out. But if you insist on working out, you can go ahead and do that, no problem. Alright, so like what I say, you see plus 1, there's a 1 here. This one will be my 1. So okay, let me draw nicely a bit. Just cannot accept I got something like this. Okay. Okay, let me just draw nicely a little bit. So, okay, there's this line is 1. Because why I want to draw this line? Because I want to make sure my graph will never touch the 1. So my graph will be above 1. So this is the graph I have. In fact, you actually will go faster a little bit. Yeah, this is something like this, and this one will be 1. And what value you touch here? Because you need to state the coordinate you touch here. You touch at 2. How do I know it's 2? Because at the y-axis, x is equal to 0, isn't it? You just do f0 here. You get 3e0 plus, oh, there's a 3 here, so this is not 1. So I'm so sorry. This one will be 4. Alright, because yeah, there's a 3. Because I thought this is e2x plus 1. So this one is e0 is 1. So this is 3 plus 1, which is 4. So you touch at 4 here. Yeah, this is all the information you have. Because you will never touch the x-axis, so you don't need to worry about that. Alright, then your reflection at the line y equals to x, right? So your reflection at this line. This one should be a straight line, y equals to x. So when I do the reflection, right, I kind of need to follow back the same thing. The first thing is I cannot touch at this line, x equals to 1. So you just imagine there's some reflection here. There's a x equals to 1 here. And then, yeah, you have a reflection like this. And you can never touch the x equals to 1, but you will get very close to it. So you have something like this. Yeah, you kind of need to draw more symmetric a little bit. Okay, I do my best. Yeah, you just kind of imagine their symmetry. This is f inverse, and this one will be fx. Okay, so yeah, and then you will touch at the 5 here, 4 here, because it must be the same. It must be the same because it is a symmetry. It will be reflection at the line y equals to x. Alright, so you just draw like this, and then you label it correctly. I guess you can easily get the mark here. Okay, so yeah, then make sure it's a reflection and draw nicely, and then yeah, it should be fine. Okay, so can you understand, right, the graph part? So I'm going to move on to the next one. Alright, find the equation of normal to the curve at a point x equals to 1 over 2. Give your answer in this form. Right, so where a, b, and c are the integers. So yeah, so we kind of need to find the equation of normal. So whenever you want to find equation of normal, you can always follow this step. First step, we do dy dx. Second step, we sub x value into dy dx. Why you want to do that? Because we want to get the gradient of tangent. Then the third step, you want to find the gradient of normal by negative 1 over gradient of tangent. Then the fourth step, you need to form the equation y minus y1 equals to gradient of normal x minus x1. So you can always follow this 4 steps to get your equation of normal. Then after you get the equation of normal already, then they just ask you to find the equation of normal in this form. Okay, then you need to use this one. Okay, because at the part at the fourth step over here, I need to have a coordinate x and y. But here I only have x, so I need to find my y coordinate first. So it's kind of easy because I need to get my coordinate first. 1 over 2 plus 5. So my y is 4 plus 5 is 9, so it's 3. And some students might struggle like, should I put positive, negative 3 here? You don't need. Whenever you see the square root in positive form, that means this one is a positive 3 already. When you need positive, negative, unless you have y squared equals to 8x plus 5, then I move my square to the other side. Yeah, I will do positive, negative. But if the question straight away give me the square root, I will always assume it is positive. So you don't need to worry about positive, negative. Alright, so yeah, this is 3, right? Then I have a coordinate half and 3. I'm going to use this coordinate here because the fourth step, I say you always need two information, right? You need the gradient and then you need a coordinate. So I'm going to write my coordinate here. So gradient of normal, I will find out and then I'm going to write here. Then I can sub into my fourth step. Okay, so you know how to find this, right? So because the lack of space, I kind of erase it. But in the exam, you don't erase it, okay? You need to show the examiner how you get the 3 here. Alright, so the first step is I will do the dy dx here. So just in case you don't know this one, square root is power of 1 over 2. So I move the 1 over 2 to the front. This is 8x plus 5. And then I minus 1 for the power. So you get negative 1 over 2. And then I need to differentiate inside the bracket right at the back here, which is 8 here. And 8 and half I can simplify. I get 4. Negative half means what? Square root at the bottom, 8x plus 5. Alright, this is my dy dx. And then because the gradient actually touch at this point, right? And x equals to 1 over 2. This is gradient of tangent. This is not normal. Alright, this is gradient of tangent after I sub the 1. This is dy dx first. Not yet gradient of tangent because I haven't subbed the 1 over 2. Because when I sub my x into dy dx, I get gradient of tangent. So right now I find the gradient of tangent by substituting the half here. So the half go into here, I actually get 9 square root 9 here. So this is 4 over 3 is my gradient of tangent. And now if I want to find the gradient of normal, which is the third step, I need to do negative 1 over gradient of tangent, right? Which is negative 3 over 4. Okay, if you're not sure, you just use the calculator. It should be fine. Okay, so yeah. So right now, I have my gradient of normal, negative 3 over 4. Then I can form the equation. This is my step 1. And then this is my step 2. This is my step 3. And then I go to my step 4. So what I will do is, I will sub this one into my x1 and y1. So y minus 3 equals to gradient of normal, negative 3 over 4, x minus half. So yeah, so y minus 3 equals to negative 3 over 4x plus 3 over 8. So y equals to negative 3 over 4x plus 3, isn't it? Plus 3 will be, wow, 24, 27. Oh, 8. Yeah, you just use the calculator. But the question don't want you live in this answer, right? Because they must get something like this. So I kind of don't want the fraction. So what number I should multiply for whole equation? I need to multiply 8 here because I don't want my x and y have a fraction. Because they are integer according to the question. So I multiply 8 for the whole thing. So the 8 multiply y, 8y. The 8 multiply negative 3 over 4x. So this one and this one, you kind of simplify, left a 2, right? So negative 6x. This one, you multiply 8, you get 27. Yeah, I will move everything to one side. 6x plus 8y minus 27 equals to 0. Yep, this is how you actually do it. Actually, it's not a lot because maybe I explained about this part, so you realize I actually write a lot of things for 5 marks. Yeah, because if I do it myself, I can do quite fast if I understand this one. But please remember, if you don't understand about equation of normal so much, so you just follow this step. It's always work. So yeah, if you can understand, of course, you can just do it in your own way. At the end, I hope you actually will get the same result with mine. Okay, so yeah, this is how you do this kind of questions. So we're going to go to question 7. So when log y is plotted against x, the straight line graph will passing through the point, these 2 points, is obtained. So given that y equals to abx, find the values for each of constant a and b. Alright, first thing is you need to know these 2 points is not for x and y, because we used to the coordinate is x, y, isn't it? But because these 2 points is at this graph. What is this graph? This graph is basically log y against x. And then you have a line, and then this line actually will pass by these 2 points. So the first thing I understand about these 2 points is this is x value, this is a log y value. Same idea, this is x value, this is log y value. Yeah, this is some idea first. And then the second thing is you need to know straight line, you need a gradient. So how am I going to get a gradient? If I have these 2 points, I can get a gradient easily. Just even though it's a log y, I still use back the same gradient methods. 3.6 minus 6, y minus y over x minus x. Alright, then I can get my gradient here. You just use the calculator for the whole thing, because you want to make sure you don't make any mistake here. Minus 6, 2.2 minus 3.4. Yep, nice. It's just get 2. Okay, why I want to find a gradient? Because before I do this, right, I need to form my y equals to mx plus c, because it is a straight line, isn't it? So my y over here is according to my vertical axis, log y. My m is just found, is 2. My x right now is nice, it's just x plus c. Okay, so I need to form this equation first before I can get the final equation. And then in this pattern, you still need to solve one more thing, which is c. You know, to solve c is quite easy. Sub in the coordinate into here. This is the reason why at the very beginning I tell you 3.6 is not y, because a lot of students will make the common mistake. They will do log 3.6. Then you will get almost whole question wrong if you do like this. So understand the coordinate also very important in linear law. Because what? I will sub the 3.6 like this. Because 3.6 itself is a coordinate for log y. So 2, my x is 2.2. Then I can get my c over here. Is 3.6 minus 4.4. So it's negative 0.8, right? Yep, negative 0.8. Alright, then I will rewrite my whole equation. Log y equals to 2x minus 0.8. Okay, because the question want me to kind of do the something like this. So, okay, next thing I want to do is I want to move my log 10 to the other side. I will get 10 power of 2x minus 0.8. Alright, if I get shocked in this step, I'm doing a formula like this. Log AB equals to C, B equals to A power of C. Because LG stands for log base 10. Okay, so if I log base 10, B equals to C, my B equals to 10 power of C. This is the reason why you can see I get 10 power of the whole thing like this. Yep, but this is not my final answer. Why? Because it's not yet in this pattern. So, yep. So I will do this is 10 power of 2x. Divide. Minus mean divide, right? Divide 10 power of 0.8. So then I will do my one last step. Because the question say one be AB power of x, right? So you can see what I will do for this fraction is I will separate them. I will say this is 1 over 10 power of 0.8 multiply 10 power of 2x. Yeah, I kind of get this thing already. But then there's no 2x here. This is 1x, isn't it? And if you don't like about 1 over 10 power of 0.8, you can type everything in your calculator to get a nice number for you. Yeah, which is 0.158. And then because I don't want 2x, so I will do 10 power of 2. So I will say multiply 100x. Yep. So this is A, this is B, power of x. Okay, so yeah, this is how you do this kind of questions. If you don't like about so many decimal, maybe you can simplify it to make it a less decimal. But yeah, I believe this is how you do these questions. Okay, so far so good. Yeah, we do quite fast because it's only 40 minutes. So right now they ask you to find x value when y equals to 900. So I can just use back this equation. So I say 900 equals to 0.158 100x. Yeah, it's fine. So yeah, so I have 900 over 0.158 100x. Alright, so depend how you want to solve it. If you have an advanced calculator, you can do log base 100 for it. If you don't have the advanced calculator, what you can do is I add the log 10 for both sides. Of course, this one you can type in the calculator. Alright, then you have log 100 power of x. Yeah, you will move the x to the front. This one I tell you is 2, so it's this one, basically this is 2x, alright? Alright, then here I will just solve it. I will do log base 10 and then 900 over 0.158. So I will kind of get 3.7556. Okay, I simplified the last step. So the whole answer divided by 2, I will get 1.88 as my final answer. Okay, so yeah, if you have an advanced calculator, actually you can solve it straight away like this. I'm not sure which model you're using, because you are using this one or the silver color one, because you can tap the base, isn't it? So what I will do is, if I move the 100 to the other side, it's basically get log base 100 900 over 0.158 equals to x. I can straight away get the x like this, and then I type everything in the calculator, I will get the same result as well. But I just teach the normal methods, because some students have the black color one, which is the old version. You cannot change the base in their calculator, so yeah, then they can use the simple methods as well. Alright, so yeah, I hope you can get it and you can understand it. Number 8 here. Yeah, it's a third topics. So yeah, so the diagram actually is a trapezium, definitely, and then you have a 90-degree here, yep, and then you have two parallel lines, yes, and then you have all the information. So you can see all the information at the diagram already, and then find the parameter of trapezium and give your answer into the simplest third form, perimeter. Okay, I hope it's not too hard to solve the hypotenuse. This is 7 plus third 5, because right now I need to find BC. Alright, so I kind of need to know what is here. Seriously, this one gives you 3 marks? Okay. Interesting. Does the question tell us BC or not? There's a lot of works to do for this 3 mark. Yeah, the examiner just think that you are very good in cert. Yeah, let's do it. No problem. Okay. 11 minus 4, I get 7. Okay, so not, yeah, we need to do minus, right? Yeah, 11 plus 2 third 5 minus 4 plus 3 third 5. So this one will give me 7. 2 third 5 minus 3 third 5 give you what? Negative third 5, huh? So minus third 5. Okay, so Oh, luckily it's a nice number. Or else like, why like so many things for so little mark? Luckily we see a plus b, a minus b. So we get a square minus b square. So 49 minus square root 5 square. Okay, so I just using this formula a plus b, a minus b, I will get a square minus b square. So which is 5. 49 minus 5, this length is 44. Okay, so yeah, I got a BC quite easily. Because I think like, why is 3 mark need to do so many things? Okay, parameter equals to, yeah, plus then 1 by 1. Okay, so I plus a number first. 7 plus 4 plus 11. This is 11 plus 11, which is 22. 22 plus 44, I get 66. Okay, so I got all the numbers solved already. Then I do the third thing. 3 third 5, 4 third 5, 6 third 5 plus 6 third 5. Right. But the question one about simplest form, so I kind of factorize out the 6. 11 plus third 5. I guess, is it the simplest form? Yes, right. This one should be the simplest form, isn't it? Yeah, I guess this one is the simplest form. And yeah, at the same time, I'm checking out the marking scheme. The marking scheme actually give me some surprise here. Oh no. Yeah, I'm the one do wrongly. What am I doing? I'm too excited about this thing. And yeah, I do the wrong for the whole questions. Why I multiply them? Because yeah, what is Pythagoras? So basically the Pythagoras tell us you know to find this, right, is a square plus b square. And then we square it. Because when I see the 3 mark, I keep on thinking, oh, maybe there's easiest way to do this. And end up the whole thing is wrong. Okay. Let's do it then. Let me do it here for BC. Okay, so expand it for 49 plus 14 sub 5 plus 5, and then plus 49 minus 14 sub 5 plus 5. Okay, so luckily this number and this number I can minus. 49 is 98 plus 10. 98 is 108. So we get square root 108 here. For BC. And square root 108 here, we need to find a perfect square number inside. Actually, we can use the calculator. Square root 108, we use calculator is 6 sub 3. Tell me what? This one is 36 multiply 3, get 108. So we get 6 sub 3 here. Then my parameter, this one will be 6 sub 3. Yeah, my parameter I'm going to replus them again. Yeah. So yeah, same thing. This one plus this one plus this one give me 22. 3 sub 5, 4 sub 5, 6 sub 5 plus 6 sub 5 plus 6 sub 3. Yeah, this one will be my final answer for these questions. yeah, you kind of need to do the Pythagoras carefully and ignore about this thing. My mind is just being tricked. Okay, so find the area of the trapezium. So if you want to find this area, so half time base time, half a plus b times height. This is how you get the area of trapezium, isn't it? So half, I will do a plus b here. So 11 plus 4, I get 15. And 2 sub 5 plus 3 sub 5, I get 5 sub 5. And the height will be 7 plus sub 5. Put a bracket for it, okay? And yeah, we kind of expand the whole thing. Simplest form again, so yeah. Let's expand it. 15 times 7 is 105. Plus 15 times sub 5, 15 sub 5. 7 times 5 sub 5 will be 35 sub 5. And 5 sub 5 we're going to multiply the sub 5 will be 25. Okay, so half, this one will give me 130. This one will give me 50 sub 5. Yeah, luckily both is even number. So this one will be 65 plus 25 sub 5. Yep, I guess this one should be the simplest form here. Yeah. Actually, simplest form no need to factorize. I think the factorized one is not the simplest form. Because simplest form, sometimes we will expand it. Yeah, because just now I trying to simplify it by factorize, right? I don't think we need to do that. Normally, we need to do that unless we can factorize out some number and simplify with the denominator. Or else you can just leave like this. I believe this one is your simplest form. Okay. Number 9 here. So, okay, we have a diagram, show a circle with center O, radius is 10. The point ABCD lies on the circle such that the chord AB equals to 15 and the chord CD equals to 10. So chord AB is parallel to the chord DC. Show that the angle AOB is 1.7 radian, correct to 2 decimal places. Yeah, we have all the information. So right now we want to find the angle AOB. We need to find about this angle. This is 10 and 10. You should know this is the cosine rule because you have 3 lines with no angle. So yeah, cos A will equals to B square plus C square minus A square over 2BC. Alright, so yeah, this is just the formula. And this formula is given at the very beginning, if not mistaken. Yep, it's basically this formula. I just make the cos A as a subject by throwing the whole thing to the other side. I get B squared plus C squared minus A squared, right? This is 2BC. And then I move my 2BC to the other side divided by 2BC. So that I can straight away get my cos A. Yeah, if you're not familiar with by doing this, you can still use back the original formula. But because I used to it already, so I think this one actually faster. So I have cos A equals to B and C will be two sides, A will be the opposite length. You need to always remember this because some students do not know which one is A, B, and C. So this is 10 square plus 10 square minus 15 square over 2, 10, 10. Alright, then I will inverse cos my answer to straight away find my cos. But because this topic is in radian, so before you do that, always make sure you change your calculator to radian first. Yeah, so like if you are using this model, you kind of need to change the angle units to radian. Alright, so yeah, straight away do inverse cos. Then I type the fraction 10 square plus 10 square minus 15 square over 200. So yeah, it's 1.69. Yeah, I round off 1.70 radian. If the question asks you to show, then I will just do shown. Okay, so yeah, find the parameter of the shaded region. So right now I need a parameter here. So yeah, I need to know both of this length. Yeah, this is my objective, right? So let's see what we can do here. We need to solve some other angle also, I believe. So we have to think like this. 4 mark. Okay, then worth my time. This is 10 and 10 here. So you see 310 means what? This is equilateral triangle. Equilateral triangle, I know each of the angle will be 60 degree, but then in radian, it doesn't use degree, doesn't it? Radian, we use pi over 3. Because 180 for triangle is pi, right? So you just pi divided by 3, you get pi over 3. Then after I got the angle, the good news is, yeah, these two angle is the same. Yeah, they are the same, right? Because these two lengths, BC and AD, is the same also. So what we can do over here is, you know, you get one of it. I'm going to call it alpha. You know, get alpha. Both of these also is alpha, okay? So I can say 2 alpha plus my 1.7 just now plus pi over 3 must equals to 2 pi. Because what? The whole circle here must be 2 pi, isn't it? 360. So yeah, then I can get my 2 alpha here by doing the 2 pi minus 1.7 minus pi over 3. Okay, I'll get something like 3.534. Then I get my alpha by divided 2. So my alpha is 1.768. Okay, so then I can find my arc length BC, right? So my arc BC is S equals to R theta. R is 10, theta is 1.768. So it will be 17.68. Alright, then I want to find the parameter. Let me use the space here. Of course, in the exam, you will use the space below. Parameter is, because both length is the same, isn't it? So it's 2 multiplied 17.68 plus 15 plus 10. Of course, I will round to 3 significant figures for my final answer. 2 times 17.68 plus 15 plus 10. So I will get 60.4. Yeah, this one will be my 4 mark, which is my parameter here. Yeah, it's not too hard. Maybe only tricky thing is you kind of need to solve the triangle. It's just in case in the exam you couldn't get the pi over 3 because you might not able to straight away see it as an equilateral triangle. You can still use back the cosine rule to actually find the angle, and you will get pi over 3 eventually. So you don't need to so worry like, what if I cannot see is an equilateral triangle? As long as you remember the formula, you should be able to solve it as well. Okay, 4 mark. Area of shaded region. Okay. In order to get the area of shaded region here, what I want to do is, I can find the area of circle easily by doing the pi r square. Then I can get the area of circle. And right now what I want to do is, yes, I need to solve the both area of the segment here. And 1 segment, 2 segment. So I will use the circle to minus both of these segments. And we have a formula for segment as well, right? So the formula for segment is what? Half r squared theta minus sine theta. So yeah, both have the same r, 10, 10, 10, 10. Both segments have the same r. Just they have a different theta. This theta is 1.7. Another segment, the theta will be pi over 3. So if you can understand that, I can straight away do over here. So area of shaded region. Let me write short form. Alright, in the exam you shouldn't write short form. Alright, we pi r square minus both of the area of segment. So I minus the first one first. Half r square tan square theta, which is 1.7 minus sine 1.7. Alright, and then minus again the bottom one. Half r square tan square theta will be pi over 3 minus sine pi over 3. Alright, so then you can type in the calculator straight away here, just in case you get a bit confused about so many brackets. So I just do a nice bracket for you. Then you type everything in the calculator and leave in the 3 significant figure, then you should be fine. So the first one is 100 pi minus half 100 is just 50. Okay, so I just type 50 bracket 1.7 minus sine 1.7. Make sure your calculator in the radian mode, okay, or else you will got wrong. And then minus another 50 time pi over 3. So just now I think I accidentally typed one. Yeah, got correct. Yeah, just worry I typed wrongly. Minus sine pi over 3. So yeah, I will get 270 as my final answer after I round off to 3 significant figures. Yeah, of course you can still do slowly by find the area of sector minus the area of triangle to get a segment. But as an MF student, please remember the formula for area of segment. It's not too hard to remember. Half r squared theta minus sine theta. Yeah, you can write as your at your formula list there. Because I asked you guys to write in the first 10 page, right? Yeah, just jot down this formula. It's very useful. It can save you some time for these 4-mark questions. Alright, so number 10, integration. So the diagram actually show the part of the graph y equals to 2 plus cos 3x and then line y equals to 1.5. Find the exact area. Pay attention at the words exact because you kind of need to live in the pi form, I believe. The shaded region passed by the curve and the straight line. You must show all your working 9 marks. It's a bit crazy, but I believe you can do that. Okay, we want to find this area. What we need to do is, from the intersection point there, I draw 2 90-degree lines here. The vertical line, I want to make sure it's a vertical line, and I want to find the area exactly the shaded. I will find exact area of this shaded region. So right now, how am I going to get this area? I'm going to use the rectangle. I'm going to use the rectangle to minus the area under the curve here, which is I want to minus about. I want to minus all this area, all the area below the curve here. You get the idea? So yeah, I will use the rectangle to minus this area, then I can get the shaded region. So if you get the idea already, then I will straight away do it. How am I going to get the area under the curve? I need to have these 2 values. So how to get these 2 values? This intersection point, right? So I just plug in the 1.5 into the equation. So 1.5 equals to 2 plus 2 cos 3x. And you will have some problem here. Cos 3x equals to negative 0.5. I mean 3x. Cos 3x equals to negative 0.5 because I moved the 2 to minus it. Alright, because for cos here, you have infinity angle. So what you need to do is, because according to this graph, after the 0, these 2 points is the first 2 points it touch. So that means when I solve the angle here, I will take my first 2 angle after the positive 0 here. So for negative, I will find a reference angle. Reference angle should be 60 degree pi over 3. Okay, I will get my reference angle first. And then my 3x, I will take the first two positive angle here. So from ash sugar to coffee, cos will get negative at second and third quadrant, right? I say positive angle, not the positive value. Alright, so second quadrant is pi minus theta and pi plus theta. Alright, so this one I will do pi minus pi over 3. This one will be pi plus pi over 3. Okay, so yeah. So 3x is equals to 2 pi over 3 and 4 pi over 3. So x will become 2 pi over 9 and 4 pi over 9. So like this, you already get your two value, 2 pi over 9 and 4 pi over 9. Yeah, that's why they give 9 marks. So yeah, you need to work out the angle first. I believe the angle, until the angle here, you will get about 4 marks if you get the angle. Yeah, exactly. You will get 4 marks for the angle. Another 5 marks is for your integration. So, okay, so then now you need to do the integration after you find out the angle. I'm so sorry about my erase the things, a bit messy, but yeah, no worry. So okay, so right now I want to find the area of the shaded region. So area of shaded region. So I will do the rectangle first. So the rectangle is this length, width times width, right? So it's like 1.5. Multiply this one, I will just do the 4 pi minus 9 over minus 2 pi over 9. Okay, some students do not know, need to minus or plus. It actually makes sense, right? If let's say this is 10, this is 6, how am I going to get the length here? You use 10 minus 6, right? So therefore, this is the reason why I use 4 pi over 9 minus 2 pi over 9 just to get the length here. Okay, and then I multiply 1.5. Okay, and then I need to, this is shaded region, so you shouldn't do this. I'm not doing rectangle. I straight away do everything in one equation here. So I will need to minus, I integrate from 2 pi over 9 to 4 pi over 9. And then the equation of the curve, which is 2 plus cos 3x. And then because it's toward the x-axis, I will write dx at the bottom, at the side here. Alright, and then this one, because they want exact form, so you cannot leave this one in the decimal. I don't care if you like it or not, you need to like kind of solve it. And if you want to do manually, you can change 1.5 to 3 over 2. Or you ask the calculator to change it for you. Because we kind of need to live in the simplest form, the exact form. So yeah, this is 2 pi over 9. So 3 over 2 multiply 2 pi over 9. And then minus, later we can simplify 3 and 2. I know you want to simplify, yeah. We will simplify it later. So this one will give me 2x. When I integrate cos 3x, this is not differentiate, it's integrate. Integrate cos give me positive sign. So I will have sine 3x over 3. Yeah, make sure you don't do mistake here. 4 pi over 9. Alright, now I can simplify in the next step. 3 and 9 I simplify, left a 3. 2 and 2 I simplify, I get a pi over 3 here. Okay, so, and then here, yeah, kind of no choice to solve it manually. Okay, so I sub top first, 4 pi over 9 plus sine. Okay, this one I will do some simplify straight away, because 3 and 9 I can cut, because after I sub in I can cut. So after I cut the 3 and 9 here, you can see basically I get 4 pi over 3. So that I no need to type so many things in my calculator at once. Over 3. I'll put a big bracket because I kind of still need to minus it. So 2 pi over 9. And then plus sine. This one I will simplify like just now. So I get 2 pi over 3 divided by 3. Close the bracket, close the bracket. Yeah, we have so many brackets. Yeah, it's a bit messy, but yeah, this is how you get a 9 mark in IG, right? Never be easy. Right, so because exact form, so I kind of need to leave this on 8 pi over 9. And sine will definitely give me a nice number. Sine of 4 pi over 3. Calculator tell me it never be a nice number. I thought I would get a nice number. Okay, so divided by 3. Put a bracket for it lah, because I don't like live in this pattern. Minus I love the bracket. Okay. 4 pi over 9, small bracket, plus sine 2 pi over 3. Okay, sub 3 over 2 over 3. Put a bracket, close the bracket, close the bracket. Because we have so many minus here, so this is a very important to put the bracket correctly, or else you will kind of forget to minus 1, 2 things here. So yeah, I will solve inside the bracket first, definitely. Okay, there's a minus here. So what I want to do now is I will use this number minus this number. So 8 pi over 9 minus 4 pi over 9, I still get 4 pi over 9. Okay, quite simple. Alright, and then this one, like what I always say, A over B divided by C, I will get A over BC. So that means what? Depend, you want to straight away do or not. If like me, definitely I'm lazy person, I will straight away do. So this term, if I simplify, I will take 2 multiply 3, become negative 3 over 6. And by the way, these two is the same thing lah. You can straight away cancel it out. Okay, minus 3 over 6. Yeah, basically it's a 0, because, or you can straight away cut it if you just don't want to write. It's fine because there's a minus here and then the same thing, we can cancel it out. Okay, so yeah, nice. Then we have this thing, same denominator, times 3 times 3. So it's 3 pi minus 4 pi is negative pi over 9. No, this is not possible. Because it's area. How can we get negative for the area? Isn't it? Definitely I make some mistakes somewhere. Um, 1.5 multiply 2 pi over 9. Yeah. Pi over 3. Yeah, I try to find where is the mistake here. One point five is 3 over 2, right? 4 pi minus 2 pi, I get 2 pi. They are multiplied, so I simplify it. Pi over 3. Yeah. I sub in, I get 4 pi over 3 over 3. Minus 2. 4 pi over 9. Plus 2 pi over 3. Yeah, I found my mistake. again, cannot cancel out. This is the reason why. Because you have minus this one, right? So, yeah, negative minus this one is not 0. Yep, not yet. Yeah, so pi over 3 minus 4 pi over 9. Cannot cancel it out. Alright, so this one will be plus, it's minus, sorry, minus 2 third 3 over 6. Because minus and minus, like minus 2 minus 3, we get minus 5, right? Or minus 2 minus 2, the same one, you get negative 4, right? You cannot cancel it out. Yes. Okay, now, okay, so just now we minus this one, we get negative pi over 9. So this one will be negative, negative become positive, right? So I write the positive first. We can simplify it, definitely. This is 3. So this one should be 3 over 3 minus pi over 9 as my final answer. Yeah, actually, I do every step correctly. Just the before last step, I actually thought that I can cancel it out, both of this. But because this is negative minus positive, so we actually still have some value over there. So luckily, I had some common sense in MF because area can never get negative. But sometimes if I get negative, I modulus it. But because this area is above the x-axis, if the area is above the x-axis, you always will get positive here for your area. Unless your area is below the x-axis, then you need to modulus it and make it become positive. Okay, so yeah, make sure you do carefully. And 11. Wow, you still have 2 more. Just give me 2 minutes break. Okay, so far so good. Is there anything you want to ask me? Yeah, I hope you guys don't fall asleep here because yeah, this is 2019 paper, which is last year only. So yeah, maybe it's about your internet, but no worry, I do the screen recording, so later I'll upload to the YouTube and then I'll share the link to you. Yeah, about the paper we discussed last week, I will send the link to you guys also later. Okay, let me just finish this one. Maybe today class will end slightly early if you guys have no questions. But or anything, maybe we can do revise on something else as well. Okay, let's just finish 2 more questions. So the Jess want to arrange 9 different books on a shelf. So there are 4 mathematics books and 3 physics books and 2 chemistry books. Find the number of different possible arrangement, no restriction. So we have 4 math, we have 3 physics and 2 chemistry. So if you want to arrange all the 9 books, then no restriction, is just 9 factorial. Or you can do 9p9 if you want. So I will just do 9 factorial. And where's my factorial sign for this calculator? Yeah, I found it. So 362880. Okay, arrange 9 book with no condition is 9 factorial. A chemistry book is at the end of the shelf. So 2C must be the end. The middle we still have 7 book, right? So middle will be 7 factorial. Because the 7 book you need to arrange among themselves is 7 factorial. And then both chemistry book can swap place among themselves, right? 2 factorial. So it's just 7 factorial times 2 factorial. So it's 10080. All the mathematics books are kept together and all the physics books are kept together. So I need to group the math and then I need to group the physics. So that means I have chemistry book I do not need to keep, right? So now this is how I do this kind of keep together type of permutation questions. So what I will do is I count this one as 1 book, 2 books, 3 book, 4 book. So right now I want to arrange 4 of this book is 4 factorial. I want to arrange 4 books here, right? But then among the mathematics books there are 4 books they can arrange among themselves, right? Another 4 factorial. Physics book I can arrange among themselves, right? 3 factorial. I multiply them. Okay, this is how you do this kind of questions. 4 factorial times 4 factorial times 3 factorial. So it's 3, 4, 5, 6. It's quite easy if you get the idea how to arrange them. But if you're not sure, then it might take you some time. Okay, a quiz team of 6 children is with children from the class, 8 boys and 10 girls. You see the word is to be children. Most of the time it's a combination. It's NCR, alright? Don't use P, use C here. Find the number of way of choosing. So there's no need to do any arrangement for choosing, okay? So it's a C. So yeah, so you want to choose no restriction. You want to choose 6 children from 18 boy and girl here. So it's just 18 C6. So 18 C6. So I have 1, 8, 5, 6, 4. There are more boys than girls in the team. Yeah, this kind of bonus mark. So you want to have 6 children, right? So like if three girls and 3 boys actually equal, it's not more. So I must have like 4 boys, 2 girls, or I need to have 5 boys, 1 girl. More boys than girls, so I believe they can accept 6 boys, 0 girl. Yeah, because just make sure it's more boy than girl. So I believe they can accept 6 boys, 0 girl. Yeah. Then, okay, let's do it. So for the first one here, so I had 8 boys, I choose 4. Multiply, not plus, alright? It's multiply because total you need to choose 6 of them, so it's multiply. Alright, so it's 10 girl, choose 2. So I'll do the same thing for all the others. This is 8C5 times 10C1. And then this is 8C6 times 10C0. Alright, so then you plus all the answer. Okay. 8C4 times 10C2. 3150. 8C5 times 10. 560, 8C6, 28. Then you plus all of them. 3738 will be your final answer. Okay, a bit tricky. I think it's about the last one because they say more boy than girl, right? So because more boy than girl, it sounds like must have a girl there, then only you can do the comparing, right? But in IGCSE, if they say like this, they can accept 6 boys with 0 girl. It still consider 6 is bigger than 0. It's kind of mathematic thinking. Yeah, 6 is bigger than 0, right? So yeah, so they can still accept the last one. Because a lot of students will only do these 2. Yeah, so it must be very careful for this kind of questions. Alright, last question of this paper. So a curve is such that second derivative, and then they give you a gradient, and they ask you to find equation of curve. It's an integration question. I say many times in IGCSE only one method is to find the equation of the curve, which is integrate dy dx. Alright, so but you have d2y, your second derivative right here, d2y dx squared. So you kind of need to do integration 2 times. So when you do the integration 2 times, you need to remember you need to plus c and plus d. Don't use the plus c 2 times because c must be equal to 1 value only. Okay, let's do it. So in order to get the dy dx, I need to integrate d2y dx squared, which is 2x, 2 sine x, 2 sine x plus pi over 3 dx. Alright, so I will integrate. Sine will actually give me cos. So I get 2 cos x plus pi over 3. And then I need to differentiate the angle right at the back. Luckily, if I differentiate x plus pi over 3, I actually get 1. So 1 you can ignore it. Don't want to write also, never mind. Then I'll do plus c for my dy dx. So this is the reason why they give you gradient at 5. dy dx actually is the gradient. So when your x is pi over 3, pi over 3 plus pi over 3 is 2 pi over 3 plus c. Then you can find your c easily by u5 minus 2 cos 2 pi over 3. 6. So yeah, I got my dy dx here. Is 2 cos pi over 3 plus 6. And I just realized it's 8 mark. This kind of question 8 mark, I'm very happy because it looked like quite easy. So y will equals to integrate dy dx, isn't it? Like what I say. So your dy dx here will be 2 cos x plus pi over 3 plus 6. Alright, so y equals to integrate cos give me negative sine. Alright, negative 2 sine x plus pi over 3. Like what I say, multiply 1, I will ignore it. 6x plus d. Alright, because just now I used c already. I want to make sure I don't use d. And for 8 mark question, I must be very careful about any exact value thing like this or not. Because sometimes, yeah, they will trap you by that. But anyways, this is my x and y. Pi over 3 and 5 pi over 3. Nice. So this is 5 pi over 3 equals to negative 2. Pi over 3 will be 2 pi over 3 because you plus them together. Plus 6 pi over 3 plus d. So I need to find d first before I can get my final equation. Yeah. So I have 5 pi over 3. I use a calculator. Minus move to the other side, it will become plus, right? Plus 2 sine 2 pi over 3. Oops. And then I will minus, this one will simplify, right? Minus 2 pi. Minus 2 pi. Okay. The calculator actually give me some decimal, but just in case I want to live in exact form, so I will not do using the calculator. So I will just use the 5 pi over 3 minus 2 pi. I get negative pi over 3. And then this one plus, I'm going to do this one separately in my calculator. I believe in this case you can do in decimal, but I just, in case the question want exact form, so I will just do this thing. Square root 3 equals to d. Okay, so I just do separately, because if I type everything in the calculator, it actually gives me decimal. So therefore, my equation of y equals to negative 2 sine x plus pi over 3 plus 6x plus 3 minus pi over 3. Yep. I think I make a carry mistake somewhere here. Did I make any carry mistake? Because at the marking scheme there, the pi over 3 is the positive, but I get negative. So I'm thinking maybe I do make some carry mistake, but I don't think so, because this is 6x, right? Is it pi over 3? Because this is, unless this is minus 6. Is it a minus 6 or positive 6? 5 minus 2 cos 2 pi over 3. Yeah, this is positive 6, right? If this is positive 6, this is 6x. Then if this over here is 6x, then I pretty much confirm the marking scheme is wrong. Differentiates. It's integrate sign, right? No, I'm very sure I'm the one wrong. Okay, because integrate sign actually give us negative cos. So, yeah, this one become plus, right? Yes, so this is 4. And if you integrate negative cos, will give us remain the negative sign. So this one is minus, this one is plus 4. So yeah, integrate and differentiate, sometimes I get confused. Yeah, even me also get confused. So this is 4. Because you integrate cos, still get back the positive sign, so it's remain the same. So therefore this is 4. So 4. So therefore, yeah, let me just simplify it a bit. Pi over 3. Then here I will just minus, so I still have the pi over 3 here. Because 5 pi over 3 minus 4 pi over 3, I still have pi over 3. So this one should be positive pi over 3. And then my final answer should be this one. Yeah, so, yep. That's all about this question. Yeah, just make sure you do carefully, don't make any mistake here. Yep, so I will stop the screen recording here.